We communicate all the time, like all the time. So the fact that I haven't heard anything from my child, that's not normal. That's not normal at all.
Remember that moment in high school when you told your family you'd be right back? That quick trip to a friend's house. For Jholie Moussa, a 16-year-old in Alexandria, Virginia, that simple promise was the beginning of a nightmare that would expose a lie far more insidious than a teenager sneaking out. It was a cold Friday afternoon. Jholie was doing her twin sister Jhonie's hair, just like any other day. The two were inseparable, and their laughter filled the room. Then Jolie's phone buzzed. A Snapchat notification popped up. Suddenly, the energy in the room changed. Jholie stood up, set her phone charger and ID down on the counter, and in a tone that was strangely urgent, told Jhonie she had to go, that she'd be right back. But she wasn't. Hours passed. Around 8 p.m., a text message came in from Jolie's phone to Jhonie. It said she was going to a party in Norfolk, 3 hours away. It was a lie so strange, so out of character, it sent a jolt of panic through the house. When Jolie's mother, Sirita, tried to call, the phone went straight to voicemail. Then, silence. When you hear about a missing teen, it's easy to tell yourself they ran away. But what if you're the one telling yourself that to feel better when the truth is right in front of you? This story is a reminder that you can't afford to be ignorant. Staying to the end of the video will be your first step to making sure you have the knowledge to see the signs before it's too late. Welcome to Hot True Crime Stories. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you won't miss out on our most important true crime documentary. Jholie Moussa wasn't a statistic. She was a 16-year-old high school student with an amazing future ahead of her. She was a cheerful and vibrant girl, an honor roll student at Mount Vernon High School in Alexandria, Virginia, with big dreams and a quiet determination. She had a close relationship with her family, especially with her identical twin sister, Jhonie. The two were inseparable, doing everything together, rarely spending more than 12 hours apart. They were a team. That Friday, January 12, 2018, started like any other day. Jholie and Jhonie came home from school and settled in. Jholie sat behind her sister, methodically pressing her hair, a simple, everyday act that captured the peaceful normalcy of their lives. It was in this moment, in this space of sisterly trust, that Jolie's phone buzzed. A Snapchat. The message, from an unknown sender, seemed to change everything. Jolie's demeanor shifted. She stood up, an urgency in her movements that Jhonie couldn't understand. She told her sister, "I've got to go. I'll be right back." She walked out the door, leaving her phone charger and ID behind. It was a subtle, seemingly insignificant detail, but it was a clear signal to her family. She had every intention of returning in a matter of minutes. The last images of her, captured by the home security camera, showed Jholie bundling up in her coat, smiling, and walking away from the home. No one could have known that this would be the last time they would see her alive, or that the person she was meeting had no intention of ever letting her return. For 2 whole days, Jholie Moussa was just a missing teenager. But to her family, she was a girl who had gone dark, and they knew in their gut something was terribly wrong. Her mother and twin sister, Jhonie, fought against the Fairfax County Police's immediate and infuriating decision. They classified Jholie as a runaway. They said she left willingly, so there was no evidence of danger. What the police didn't know, or wouldn't listen to, was the history of violence that had been building for months. Jholie was in a relationship with her ex-boyfriend, Nabiyu Ibrahim, a relationship her family thought had finally ended. But Nabiyu was a repeat abuser. He had already been charged with felony assault for his attacks on her, and a no-contact order was in place. Why didn't Jholie tell anyone? It's a question her family would ask themselves forever. A month before she disappeared, Nabiyu had assaulted her again, choking her until she passed out. She confided this terrifying secret only to a friend. She never went to the police, possibly because of the pressure he put on her, making her feel like it was her fault he was getting into trouble. If you've ever held back from telling someone you trust what you're really going through, you know that fear. Imagine the shame she must have felt. You have the power to help people like her feel seen. Liking and sharing this video costs you nothing, but it could save a life. When you see a friend stay in a relationship that you know is toxic, do you have a moral obligation to intervene?
And it starts with that breaking news, a guilty plea in the murder of a Fairfax County teenager, Jholie Moussa.
The 16-year-old Mount Vernon teen went missing last year, and she was found a couple weeks later dead in a park near her home. Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Peggy Fox is at the Fairfax County Courthouse.
Jholie Moussa's ex-boyfriend, 18-year-old Nabiyu Ibrahim, pleaded guilty to first-degree murder today. He admitted in court that he beat her and strangled her and then left her body, hid it in a park. He told detectives that he did it because he was angry with her and blamed her for all of his problems.
For 2 weeks, the Moussa family's worst fears went unheard. The Fairfax County Police stuck to their story, even as the community rallied behind the family. On social media, they launched their own Jholie alert, sharing her photo and story with tens of thousands of people, demanding that someone, anyone, listen to them. Their desperation finally paid off. A 13-year-old boy came forward with a strange story. On the day Jholie disappeared, a man approached him in Woodlawn Park, less than a mile from Jolie's home, and asked to use his phone. The boy lent it to him, and the man made a call, then handed the phone back. The call was to Jholie. This single, crucial lead, provided not by law enforcement, but by a curious family and an observant kid, finally broke the case open. But as the police began their search, a terrifying question hung in the air. 2 weeks had passed. Every day was a lifetime. Was the family's intuition right? And if it was, would they ever find Jholie alive? For 2 weeks, her family was ignored. What would you do if your own loved one's life depended on a bureaucracy that just won't listen? Your support shows a movement. Your subscription says that these stories matter, that these lives matter. Don't be the person who stands on the sidelines when a family is fighting for justice. When police label a child a runaway and deny a family help, should they be held accountable? The 2-week search ended on January 25, 2018. Fairfax County Police, on a second sweep of Woodlawn Park, made a horrifying discovery. Covered by leaves and brush just off a path, they found Jholie's body. A distinctive tattoo confirmed her identity. The search was over, and the investigation became a homicide case. The arrest came swiftly. 8 days before Jholie's body was even found, police had already detained Nabiyu Ibrahim on an unrelated, prior assault charge. He was in custody as investigators worked to build their case. The police secured a comprehensive, 4-hour videotaped confession. On camera, Nabiyu described the moments leading up to her death in chilling detail. He claimed he was in a blind rage and put her in an MMA chokehold, twice more after she lost consciousness. But the most damning evidence didn't come from his confession, it came from his search history. Before the murder, Nabiyu had used his mother's phone to search for how long it takes to choke someone to death. It wasn't rage. It was a planned, calculated act. The same young man who blamed Jholie for his problems had now turned his words into a fatal act of premeditation. You see how one simple search can reveal pure evil. We've all looked up things we're curious about online. But what if your search history, what if the little things you do in private, could one day become evidence of who you truly are? If you're not subscribed yet, go to the comments now and give me one reason why. Tell me why you're still not worried about the secrets that hide in plain sight. If an abuser manipulates his victim and then murders her, can his lawyer legitimately argue for a reduced sentence because he's a juvenile? Thank you for watching to the end, and I will see you on the next episode of Hot True Crime Stories. Stay safe.